Here we
So
go.
listen, there's so many things that I want to start and end with. We have a special Easter service on April 2nd.
Yes.
Friday, April 2nd, special Easter Froggy Friday, Good Froggy Friday. And I want you to invite your friends and your family and come on out and hang out with us. It's going to be a special moment. We're going to have a Taizé service, and there's going to be singing and chanting and reading and loving community up and sharing. I also want to put out there that Kareth was going to join us today, but she's ill. So we are all powerful knowers of truth. Christine, you can include her in your treatment this morning and just hold her in that sacred space that she is well and blessed and so healed and perfect and true. It's already done. All right. So
I want to just find out who Techno Cayman is. Who's Techno?
Is that Wilkesper?
CM. Oh. We want to just welcome you.
It's Alfred.
I can only see half your face.
Is that Alfred? It's Alfred?
Alfred.
There you are. There's
Yes.
your face. Hi. Oh, it's so good to see you.
So good.
Yeah. Hi.
Welcome.
I'm so happy to join you today.
Oh
I've taken some time knowing, so I'm so happy to join you today. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen,
relax and soak it up, Alfred.
Let's get started. There's so much to be grateful for. So right here, right now, just embrace yourself. Can y'all just give yourself a hug? Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Come on, let me see you give yourself a love. Come on, give some love, give some love. You are a unique expression of God. And you are hugging. You, as you are dancing and swirling, you're in the arms of grace. So all of the entire, just as all the entire ocean exists, you are also that one droplet that all the entire ocean exists in. And I want you to know that today you are here. You're here to heal, to release, to allow, to unfold. So before we even begin, I want you to recognize that everything is locked and loaded and ready to reveal itself as you, through you. You, my sweet family, are representative of God. You are the one with the power and the presence of God. I had to run out and grab a power cord a second ago, and I was sharing with Yvonne that I had to run out and get the power, but God is the power. We are the power that moves through God, and there is nothing wrong with you. Everything is magnificent about you. And today, in this moment, in this life, you have come to release it, to share it, to be it, unleash it, and give it. We have come to surrender to the magnificence of all that life is. Today, I'm talking about surrender. Take a breath in. Take a breath in. Woo! When we recognize the presence of that one loving source, the divine vibration that courses throughout the universe, when we remember God is all and all is of God, when we recall with that profound creativity, God is ever expressing and expanding, unfolding in time, in place, and that thing that we call life, and we call it surrender. So Christine, I'm going to call on you right now to open us up into that all-knowing, lay the foundation as we do all things with a treatment, knowing that we are together purposefully and intentionally. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Christine. She is your future ministerial team in Kenya. She is one of our highest practitioners. I turn the Zoom room over to Miss Christine right now to set us in that sacred space.
Okay, thank you so much. Join me as I recognize this moment is light, this moment is love. I recognize this moment is God, and this moment is powerful. This moment is just beautiful and it is infinite. I recognize that it is all light, it is all peaceful, and it is all amazing and sourceful. I am connected with this powerful God. I am connected with this amazing and beautiful, abundant God. I am connected with the source of good, the source of knowledge, the source of infinite, amazing, wonderful I am. What I know to be true for me is true for all of us because we are all one, connected in the mind of God. I realize this moment has been really grateful and beautiful as I realize that the Froggy Friday, we get to learn, we get to unfold, we get to understand that this journey is just amazing. As we sit here to remember the Froggy Friday, to remember Reverend Connie, and to remember we are light, we are love, we are peaceful, we are healing. I give gratitude because of the Froggy Friday, because this is a moment we learn. This is a moment we connect to remember the love, to remember the joy, to remember the journey, and to remember our Reverend Connie, because we are one with her and she's always present within us, with us in this Froggy Friday meeting. I give gratitude because of every student, every teacher who makes this journey beautiful, who makes Froggy Friday beautiful, amazing, wonderful, and so beautiful. And I give gratitude because of our internet, our laptops, our phone that connect us to this Froggy Friday that becomes part of our every Friday journey, that we long for it, we long to be connected, we long to be together in these amazing sacred moments. I give gratitude because of everyone who is in this journey, who is in this class, and who is available just to connect and to understand and to release and to know that it is just released and it is beautiful. We release all worries, we release all anxiety, we release everything that is not part of us and doesn't serve us. And we embrace ourselves. We embrace love, we embrace peace. We embrace that I am one with God and I am all that I am. I am beautiful, I am healthy, and I am loved, and I'm blessed, and I'm one with God. And together, I release my word to the law of mind, knowing that it is already done in the mind of God. And together I say, and so it
So
is.
it is.
And so
Thank you,
it-
Christine. Reverend Gwen, can you open up a song for us? Let's lay that foundation down of those incredible words, knowing that we are all one. This is the song that we sing here at Froggy Friday. And if you know it, just keep yourself on mute and sing it to yourself. And I'll sing it out and Reverend Gwen will sing it out. We are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another. We're born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. Reverend Gwen.
We are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are one part of one another, born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one.
We are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another. We're born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. When it's all said and done, we are one. Woo! Thank you, Reverend Gwen. Thank you. Give yourself some love. Give yourself some love.
Oh my goodness.
So
Welcome, welcome.
just like Christine said, knowing that I am, you are, We're part of the one. And that is this sacred life, Christine said, that is meant to be lived, an expression of the one, knowing that I am aligned with the divine, that is the power and presence within me. And God's life is my life now. When I know this, I surrender. And because I am firmly rooted in that divine, in that divinity, I affirm that my sacred life that Christine was talking about is unfolding perfectly, gracefully, and effortlessly, recognizing it is one in God. And when I do, I have no fear. Just like Christine said, I have no worries, I have no stress, I have no struggle, acknowledging I am in the flow of spirit and allowing life to do as it does, loving what it does, because I mindfully release any attachment to the outcomes and I focus on living my truth. You know what I'm talking about? I'm able to maintain my integrity. And when I do this, my life progresses in divine right order. My decisions come easily, work is effortless, self-care is natural, and all of my relationships blossom. All is well. All is well when I rest in the arms of the divine, when I trust, when I surrender, when I allow. So when I do this with heartfelt gratitude, and thanking the loving, endless loving supply of source along the way, its comfort, its presence, I value that calm center of the divine, and I appreciate that sweet spot in my life that is so easy. And I love the peace of mind and the heart that comes from surrender. I'm talking about surrender. And it is that giving thanks for that bounty that awaits me every single day. And when I say this, when I'm saying all of this, how do you feel? Do you believe it's possible? Do you accept it's possible for your truth too? Or is it just rambling to you? Because every thought is a prayer. And within that prayer is released into that creative medium, that mind, and knowing that the divine has handled it all of it, whatever it is. Friends, I don't need to know how. I don't need to know why. I just need to know that it is done unto me as I believe. So when I ask you, what do you think or feel when you receive what I just said? Because it's all about your openness to receive. Michael Beckwith says, when we talk about living the surrendered life, we're not just talking about throwing in that proverbial white towel and throwing it in and saying, I give up, waving that white flag. You win, I lose. Not today. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that deep soul abiding surrender where we're yielding to the next stage of our own perfect unfoldment, our personal lives. And where you're surrendering that infinite good that is within you, that wants to know itself as your very life, your very being, that everything that you are. When we're talking about that kind of surrender, that follows the depth of your being, allowing you to be set free, living outside of our present circumstances, our present conditions, outside of the way of our thinking, outside of our present way of seeing things. So when I say surrender, I'm not talking about giving up. I'm talking about giving up negative situations and conditions. You feel me? A deep conditioning, a deep soul abiding conditioning of surrender where we're yielding to our next perfect unfoldment. And that kind of surrender, and Reverend Eileen can speak to this, Reverend Pat and Reverend Gwen can speak to that. This kind of surrender allows for the depth of your beingness to be set free. That you begin to let go of your limited thinking and your limited being, that there is a world outside of our present perception. I want to make sure I'm getting this to you because this is just coming downloading to me right now. We use a lot of energy trying to make the old world hang on. Yes, you know what I'm talking about, the old stuff. We take a lot of energy doing that. There is good everywhere. I want you to think back to the life, your life, that began when you began to live your life out loud and with purpose in surrender, and how sweet it is. And I can share a story about mine. 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, our dear Reverend Connie that Christine was talking about asked me to be the musical and creative director for our conference that we held this time last year in Kenya. I would have never thought that it would have led to me sharing with you now. My limited thinking would have never thought that. But something in me thought that. It wasn't conniving, it wasn't conceiving, it wasn't manipulative. It was that thing, that life itself, the mere fact that I'm born gives me every right to think that I have entitlement to a life that is beautiful. Just like Christine said, everything is beautiful. I love that treatment. So my ability to be here with you now was beyond my perception. You know what I mean? There was more to come for me, and there's more to come for you. So think of it this way. My grandbabies have chickens. We all know chickens lay eggs, yes? These chickens, they have 5 chickens and 1 rooster, and they're laying over a dozen eggs every day. So I go over there, I see these chickens, and it makes me think that a baby chick inside an egg has all of its needs met. It has all of the nutrients. It has all of the food that it needs for survival. The shell protects it. The mama keeps it warm. But then that chick starts to begin to grow out of its own environment. It actually starts to eat its own nutrients, and it doesn't have any left. And if that chicken had human, if that egg had human consciousness, it might say, God, please give me a larger home. I'm outgrowing this home. But instead, instinct kicks in. Hear me now. This chick starts pecking at the shell until that egg opens up, and friends, it steps into a world that it didn't even know existed. That's what I'm talking about, my limited thinking, my limited perception. It steps into a brand new world through the power of surrender. I think we've outgrown our present environment, and we're here to embrace and to surrender to the next stage of our own unfoldment of perfection with a sincere trust, like that chick, that we live in an incredibly safe environment and into the unknown that might have been unfathomable for that baby chick as it moved into the greater yet to be. And that's us. We don't know all the greatness and wonder and the awe that's just around that corner. We don't know. I don't know. I didn't know I would be here. But we must trust that it is here. That's surrender. I'm not throwing up my hands and I'm not running and burying my head in the sand. No. We are leaning, if we choose, we are leaning into the greater yet to be. Yes? Yes? Are you hanging with me? Am I getting too much? All right,
Yes.
spiritual family. All right. This is the world that we live in, and it is longing for our participation. Our commitment of being born, our birthright that I was speaking of, has a commitment of being involved in our own life. This is the surrendered life. This is what it means to grow and evolve. And I'm not tricked by a sense of lack or limitation. Now, I want you to know my ego doesn't sit on my shoulder and say, girl, you are all that and a bag of chips. My ego does not say that to me. My ego has never said, I'm waiting for my ego to say that to me. My ego says, oh no, not now. Not you. Why you? So I got to keep my ego in constant check because I'm not willing to be spinning my wheels trying to get happy. I am happy. I'm not pretending to be happy. I act happy because I behave happy because I am happy. And when I get tricked into that sense of lack or limitation, Michael Beckwith calls it, what does he call it? Not fulfillment. He says that's not fulfillment, that's fulfillment. Ow, that's fulfillment. Michael, go on. And what needs to end is the stuff of the things and the comparisons. And he has this and she's doing this and they're living this. Start living our own lives. And when we do that, we can step into that fulfillment. I surrender. Sometimes every step along the way, I surrender. It's a must for me to trust and to know that I live in an incredible universe that is abundance and filled with God everywhere. And it's right here and it's right now. And I have to continue to tell myself sometimes when there's struggles, when there's strife, when there's pain, when there's confusion, when I completely surrender, I know I fall into the arms of God. Gwen, will you play this song? Not play this song, I'm gonna sing this song, but will you bring the lyrics up? This is from my good friend, Christy Snow, who's a minister and a songwriter. And I love this song. It's called I Surrender. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of God. I fall into the arms of love. Thank you, Reverend Gwen. How do you feel that song? It just goes to the core. So I'm beginning again. Right now, today is March 19th, 2021. Here we stand at Froggy Friday, different time zones, but we are together from all over the world. And I begin right now. Will you begin with me? Will you begin with me? And as I said, sometimes we begin anew, over and over and over. We begin to feel, we begin to heal. And so many people are living with what I have heard to be called intention deficit disorder. Intention deficit disorder, not attention. Intention, not attention. We say them. Intentions, they're vital, they're important. Every time we're together, we say affirmations, yes? We say them. Affirmations are our intentions. And if we're not clear, the stuff, the comparisons, the sense of lack and all that I want attitude, the stuff, then I become trapped in those limiting thoughts, the waiting, the missing out in what's right in front of us. It's already been revealed. Revealing is a way of life. Revealing is right in front of us. It's everything that we see. So when I surrender to the next stage of my own unfoldment, I am revealed into that greater part of who I am. I don't need to know what it is, because even if I can't see it, but I can feel it within me as a point of inspiration. And when we are inspired, we are inspirited, right, Reverend Gwen? Oh, I almost called you Dr. Gwen. That was a good one. But I can feel it within me as a point of inspiration. I don't need to know what it is. Yet I know that this presence that is never absent is for my highest and best good. So I yield to it. Friends, surrender to it. I set my intention that I become available to the thoughts of the infinite. The wise guidance that comes to me from the infinite. I have no choice but to participate in my life of spirit. This whole thing is my playground. It's your playground. There's so much more in you that wants to come forward. And even if you can't see it, you can feel it through your intentions. What is the possibility of me? What is the possibility in you? If you want to be, curious about what you want to be when you grow up, I always said, go ask someone in preschool or in grade 1. What do you want to be when you grow up? I ask the young kids, because they have endless ideas, unlimited, and it's not based on fears or what someone else thinks or says. Begin to feel the presence. Just breathe that in. Sometimes we make a bigger deal out of our problems than we need to. And I'm not negating them or making them less than. But while I might be concerned or worried about what the next step is going to be in a pressing issue, or anxiety takes fold and it's harder to breathe sometimes and looking for the answers, but holding on to those problems and overthinking and worrying, that's when we're playing the tug of war with the universe. I'm just going to say, you ain't going to win. The universe is the universe. And if you're pulling and pulling against the universe, but if you pull and move into and throw yourself into universe, that's the message that we want to be, when we can be guided to the place where we want to be as a result of being open to our intuition, and as a result of being open to the answers that are coming naturally to us. When we relax, when we go with the flow, guidance, inspiration, surrender comes easily. And those problems that felt insurmountable before naturally just resolve themselves without much effort or strain. So for quick solutions to our problems, the best way is to let go. Let go. I'm going to tell a personal quick story. Many of you know I had renovations in my bathroom. I've got a new bathtub, very deep, powerful jetted tub. I wanted to name my bathtub. I've named my bathtub Inspiration. So every time I go and have a bath, I sink into inspiration. I step into inspiration. I soak in inspiration and I let it go. The mind becomes clear. I surrender to the problems that I think are problems. I give it back to the universe. I bless them and I tithe them back to the universe. And I let the universe be the CEO of my brain company and say, take it over. So the next time you're feeling anxious or worried on how to deal with a negative situation, just take a few moments to reassure yourself with these statements, okay? And remember, you've heard this saying before, doubts are the dark, no, what are they? Doubts is the place, what is it? Doubts is the place, doubts is the dark room where negatives go to be developed. Ooh, I found it. Doubt is the dark room where negatives go to be developed. Same for worry, same for stress, same for anxiety. And as I always mention, when I pick my affirmations and intentions, I make sure that they feel good for me, because they only work when they feel soothing, when they're not forced or pushed. So please, please take care of when you're picking out your statements. No, Gwen, these are not them. Sorry, these are not the ones yet. But thank you. You are so on it. I'm so impressed with your honestness. So first thing that I do is I remember that it's not my job to figure out everything. It's not my job to figure it all out. And next thing I do is I am internal. So I want to know that this problem is small and insignificant in the big scheme of things. I remember that I'm supported and loved for and cared for. We have an incredible community that we continue to reach out for. And things always work out for me when I'm relaxed and I let go. And there's a solution to every problem. And the universe knows exactly what those solutions are. and remember the triumphs and the wins in your life and all the glory. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. That's why we're here. When you remember that, when you know that, when you surrender to that, all is well. Thanks for listening.
Ooh, yes, always, always.
Reverend Gwen, you have anything to add?
Yes, yes. This brings back one of my, I've always been very grateful for the teaching of Science of Mind, because it brought me home and brought me centered. And when you don't surrender, when you think you can do it yourself, when you got your bloated self looking after your life, it doesn't work very well. There's a lot of stumbling. There's a lot of bumps in the road. There's a lot of banging up against things. And if you don't use it intentionally, like we teach in class, you lose it. So one of the best things ever that I learned was that God is absolute. God is absolute. There is no spot God is not. So how could I have problems that are not fixed, not resolvable? And so I ended up, that was one of my greatest gifts, because I knew that in God, everything exists, the good, the bad, the ugly. Therefore, I know that I can find that resolution. I can find that peace. And knowing that God is absolute, you can trust. I can trust. I can know. And then surrender just follows and falls in. And I just was, while Barb was talking, thank you for this, Barb. It's always a good reminder just to let it go. I looked up surrender. I looked up, and one of the definitions was abandon oneself entirely to it. Abandon oneself. So, like Emerson says, get your bloated self out of the way. My bloated self, my ego self, my I can do it myself self. Those are the things that stop you from living intentionally. Never, ever, like Barb said, me too. I never would have dreamed I have done the things I have done after I learned this treatment, this philosophy and this teaching. The people I've met, the connections I've met, this community in Kenya has just grown and expanded me. And I'm telling you, you're stretching me. You're pushing me, out. My bubble is going like this. My bubble is not restrictive. It's moving and it's flexible, but it's in that surrender and that trust and knowing that we are divinely guided if we allow it, if we bring it in, if we receive it.
Yeah.
So all is good. The best is yet to come, everyone. The best is yet to come. Always.
Nancy put in the chat, what's the difference between letting go and surrender? Sometimes they're synonymous, but I think sometimes you have to decide that you're ready to surrender. And once you surrender, you can let it all go. Sometimes they can be synonymous though. And Reverend Eileen, maybe you want to add something extra to that. Is there a difference between surrender and letting go, or are they synonymous? As I just said, if you can decide to surrender, letting go of the control, letting go of the hurt, the pain, then it comes.
I think the surrender is the deepening into the letting go. Yeah. Yeah.
I think surrender occurs when we have the faith to
Come
let
on.
go.
Come on.
Yeah, but letting go is, I can let go of a cup of coffee. I can let go of a meal. I can let go of a lot of things in my life, but that's not surrender. Surrender is when I have the belief so deep inside me that God is there within me, allowing me encouraging me, nudging me, pushing me to surrender so that I can move on in my life. That's how I view, that's how I would view the difference between letting go and surrendering.
Yeah.
There you have it, Nancy. Thank you, Reverend Eileen.
Beautiful.
Welcome.
The wisdom.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, let's open it up.
Yeah, let's open it up.
Has anybody got a quick share? Nancy, does that help you?
Tremendously. Thank you.
Have you had a time in your life where you've surrendered and it's the flow has just opened up?
Yes. Yes, I have.
And then the effect was ease, more ease?
Yes, ease, freedom. Oh, just a big sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you feel like it was fueled by faith and trust?
Yes, and like and the everything, the perspective changes. If it is a problem, like Reverend Gwen said, it is not mine. It is not mine to try and sort it out and figure it out. I just let it go, surrender, and things fall into place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for that clarification.
Oh, what do we got here? Lady T wants to know. Surrender can be a bit scary until you remember spirit is always looking for your good. True. True.
Always
Can
our
I add
highest
some-
and best.
Can I add
Yes.
something, Barbara? I'm doing, the 40 days of gratitude, and this one of our days is surrender. And the quote that we have for that day is and this is from The 5 Gifts of an Abundant Life by Diane Harmony. When we surrender to the power and presence of God within, the synonyms for surrender take on a whole new meaning. Yield, to yield to the flow of life rather than oppose it. Relinquish, to let go of resistance to accepting what is and to allow ourselves to choose differently. Resign, to resign our little selves to the service of our holy selves and to the guidance he offers. We are resigning ourselves to more of the goodness of God. Submit, to submit our will to the divine will of God within us. We are submitting our inner ear to listening to the still small voice that is forever offering its inspiration to us. And from the Bible, James 4:10, humble yourself before God and he will lift you up.
That's I love that. And that's exactly what Patrick is just saying. We need to remember that God works for us and through us, even as us. I will add as us to that, Patrick. And when we don't surrender, it's like denying God to work through us, right? It's our birthright. Thank you, Eileen. I love us. I love that we come together and share this wisdom.
Thank you, Patrick. That was really, that's true. Do we want to, spend our life going upstream and struggling, or do we want to get in the flow of the stream and just ride the current?
I have a question.
Yes.
In this surrender, is it that in life, is it that we choose our life and then the spirit supports us in our choice, or spirit has a plan for our lives and we are then going to surrender to the plan? Because then you run into this whole, it's like the Christian belief where God is out there making the plan for your life.
Right.
So I'm kind of a bit confused.
That's a great question, Lady T. So I don't think that there's a preordained destiny for who your every path, every step that you take. You're going to work at this place. You're going to have this many children. You'll be in a relationship with that. I think it's actually, in fact, the first. You are, when you open up to living your life completely, knowing that you are supported by a power that is greater than you are, that you can tap into, that's when you're going to see the revealing that we're talking about, the yielding that Reverend Eileen was talking about, to the greatness. All that God is, you can use. So if you have that grander idea, we build this grand idea that this universal love is, this powerful presence is, you can tap into that presence and watch your life unfold when you live a life that is peaceful, that is happy, that is fulfilled and content. Recognizing hardships come, and I know that, and challenges come, and I see that, and I know that. But when you choose to see the blessings and even those challenging and hardships, and as Reverend Gwen said, this too is good, this too is God. It's all God. I don't know if that helps you or not, and maybe it wasn't as thorough as you needed. Anyone can pop in.
Gwen, the other, or Barbara, the other part to that is God created us with our own free will.
Yes.
If God predestined what we were going to do, we wouldn't have free will. And so what you have to look at is you make the choices in your life. God's there to help you pick up the pieces or to help support you to move forward. But you have free will to make all the decisions and choices that you want to. Otherwise, we would not have been created with that capability and capacity. Does that help? Does that help, Lady T?
And God does have a plan. It conspires to your greatest and highest good in all ways, always.
And it's not something that's outside of you.
Never.
It's all within you. Each of us individually has this essence, this God essence. Oh, is she gone?
Oh, Lady T. Oh, yep. Okay.
Well, I hope that helped. She might have just been bumped off. She does have twins. They could have been calling.
Paul, Patrick, Philip, anybody want to quick say? We've got a little bit of time.
Yes. Hello, can you get me?
Yes.
Something else that happens is that, as Barbara said earlier, the ego gets into the way, so that there may be grander plans for you, but your ego does not see the bigger picture, the bigger image. So you struggle with the small stuff. And if the plan was for you to attain or get better outcome, you may struggle. But when you surrender and release and let go, then things start happening, and maybe you get even further than you expected. That's my contribution.
Right.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick.
I
Well,
remember
let's do
growing up, sorry, when I
Gwen.
was raising my kids, I taught them there is no problem so great you cannot solve it. And I'll just add to that now is with God, there is no problem so great you cannot solve that. Yeah.
Let's get to those affirmations, Reverend Gwen.
Oh, sure. Yes, we haven't done them yet.
I have a question before that.
Oh, Duke. Wait.
Okay. Can you
Go ahead.
According to what I've understood about surrender, can I call it abandoning oneself entirely to a certain power or to a powerful emotion or influence? Can it be?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question.
I'm asking, according to what I've understood about surrender,
Yes.
can it be abandoning oneself entirely to a powerful emotion, to a certain powerful emotion or influence? Can it be?
Gwen, I can't, I'm missing the last part. Can you take down the slide so I can see,
Sure.
look at it? Thanks. I apologize, Duke. I heard the
Also-
first part.
It's very quiet, Duke.
I don't know if maybe my network is unstable. That's why I'm breaking up. I was asking if surrender or letting it go or letting something go out of you, can it be termed as abandoning oneself entirely to a certain powerful emotion or influence?
I think I understand. And heading into Easter, heading into Easter, we talk about the resurrection of Christ, and we talk about the death of Christ, and that he had to die that he could be reborn. And I think if I'm understanding you, that's the exact same thing. To let something go that no longer serves you, that you've either outgrown, like I talked about the baby chick, plucking out of its shell, or it no longer works for you. That's letting that old part of you die. And so abandonment, you use the word abandonment. I think that we let things go so that we can be born anew, so we can have a grander idea, so we can have lean into a birthing of something that's even bigger than where you are. And that's evolution. Am I understanding your question?
It's okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry if I wasn't understanding
Yeah,
correctly.
you have answered it. You have answered
Okay,
it.
I did.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louisa. We love you. We love you. So let's do those affirmations, and let's remind everyone about our Easter. So I'll say them and then you say them behind me. And let's unplug ourselves. I love when it's like a popcorn effect for all of, let's unmute ourselves so we can all hear the ramblings of our beautiful voices sharing these affirmations. I surrender to the universal flow.
I
Surrender to the universal flow.
I surrender to what is.
I surrender to what is.
I let go of what was.
I let go of what was.
I have faith in what will be.
I have faith in what will be.
I surrender and trust in the process.
I surrender and trust in the process.
Woo! All right, everyone. So don't forget that we're going to have special Easter service on April 2nd. You'll get the notice. And Lady T, I sent you a private message. I'm here for you if you want to talk further. I'm here for all of you if you want to talk further. Reverend Eileen, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. Reverend Pat, thank you for always supporting. Reverend Gwen, eternally grateful for our mutual love. Nancy, Philip, Yvonne, Ethan, Imani, James, Duke, Patrick, Christine, otherwise known as Christ, Paul, Terry, and James. I love you. I appreciate you. Go and shine the love and light that you are. Blessings to all of you.
Blessings, everyone.
Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So much joy to see you all.
We too.
Thank you. Thank you, Eileen.